On a chilly October morning in 2024, I, Ethan Harper, stood on my dock by Silver Lake, a peaceful retreat nestled in rural Virginia, my escape from the soul-draining years I'd spent as a corporate lawyer. At 46, all I wanted was the quiet of dawn, a hot cup of coffee, and my fishing rod, the lake's surface reflecting the sunrise like a sheet of glass. I'd snagged my cabin at an estate sale, dreaming of a life free from contracts and boardroom warfare, just solitude. That dream crumbled when a black SUV barreled down the dirt road, gravel flying. Out stormed Victoria Hayes, HOA president, her sharp auburn pixie cut and crisp blazer screaming control. She strode toward me, eyes blazing with fury. "This lake is private property," she yelled from 30 feet away. "You're trespassing on community land." I froze, coffee mug in hand, stunned. "Ma'am, I'm fishing from my own dock. This is my property," I said, keeping my voice steady. Victoria wasn't having it. "I'm Victoria Hayes, and I decide who accesses this lake," she snapped, whipping out her phone to film me like I was a thief. "You're destroying our elite community's value." 20 years in law had honed my calm, but this was ludicrous. She called 911, shrieking about a trespasser ruining property values. The dispatcher sounded doubtful, but Victoria doubled down, strutting across my dock like she owned it. A young officer arrived, looking as confused as I felt. I handed him my ID and fishing license, cool as ever. Victoria shoved HOA documents at him, ranting about community rules. The officer sighed. "This is a civil dispute. Work it out." He left, and Victoria taped a cease and desist notice to my door, threatening a $50,000 fine. That night, digging through an old trunk left by the previous owners, I found a yellowed letter and a fragmented map tied to my family name, Harper. It suggested an 1845 land grant, possibly covering the entire lake. My pulse raced. Was this real? The next day, my neighbor, Mark, a soft-spoken bookkeeper, approached me, visibly rattled. "Victoria's telling everyone she controls 200 acres for a private resort," he murmured. "She offered me $5,000 to side with her against you. My son's hospital bills are killing us, but I can't betray you." His words ignited my suspicion. Victoria's next move was an emergency HOA meeting, announced with just 48 hours' notice. At the community center, only 9 people showed, but Victoria's PowerPoint complete with sneaky photos of me fishing branded me a threat to property values. She pushed a vote to ban me from the lake. 7 hands went up. I knew it was invalid. HOA bylaws required 25 attendees for a quorum. Still, her boldness unnerved me. Was I overlooking something? I spent sleepless nights scouring property law, doubting my own deed. Mark's confession turned the tide. "She's bribing people," he said, playing recordings of Victoria plotting to rig votes for a $1 million development deal. "She's selling lake access she doesn't own, defrauding buyers and a developer." My legal instincts surged. I dug into county records and struck gold. An 1845 Harper family deed for 900 acres, never divided, encompassing the lake and most of the neighborhood. A historian verified it. My family owned everything. At a legitimate HOA meeting, with 42 residents crammed into the hall, I exposed Victoria's scheme, her fake vote, her bribes, her fraud. Mark played her recordings, and chaos erupted. Victoria screamed, "This is a setup." But I dropped the bombshell. I own the lake. I own 900 acres, including the land for Victoria's illegal project. The room gasped. Victoria's face drained of color. The developer, swindled out of $150,000, burst in, furious. "You guaranteed me exclusive rights," he roared. Victoria's lies unraveled. The consequences hit fast. Victoria was arrested for fraud, theft, and conspiracy. Families who'd bought into her scam lost their savings. Lawsuits stacked up, and her assets couldn't cover the $600,000 in damages. I grappled with my power. 900 acres could make me rich or a landlord. But I hadn't come here for wealth, I came for peace. With Mark's guidance, I donated the land to the county, creating Silver Lake Public Park. The tax break saved me $35,000 annually, but the true reward was watching families fish freely, safe from future Victorias. By 2027, at Victoria's parole hearing, she was a ghost of her former self. Prison had broken her arrogance. Greed consumed me, she said, voice firm. She'd served 2 years, worked in the prison kitchen, and begun repaying victims. The board granted parole, but the wounds lingered. Families still hadn't recovered. Silver Lake, now a thriving public park, draws thousands. Mark, now HOA president, ensures transparency. His son's treatment succeeded, and he's a vocal property rights advocate. Victoria works retail, volunteering quietly at the community center. I spot her sometimes by the lake, watching kids fish. We don't talk, but a nod suffices. The lake flourishes, a symbol of community over greed. I fish every morning, my carpentry business thriving. Giving away 900 acres was my greatest wealth. What would you do with sudden control over a community? Keep it, sell it, or give it away? Should Victoria be forgiven, or do her victims deserve more?